Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your achievements. It is not something that magically appears when you wish for it or when circumstances are perfect. It is a choice, a practice, and a commitment that you make to yourself every single day. Imagine your dreams as a distant city on the horizon. Motivation is the wind. It can help you move forward, but it is inconsistent. Some days it will blow in your favor, and some days it will die down completely. Discipline, however, is the road beneath your feet. It doesn't vanish. It doesn't leave you stranded when the wind stops. Every step you take along that road, no matter how small, brings you closer to where you want to go. And the power of discipline is that it transforms ordinary efforts into extraordinary results over time. Discipline is not a trait reserved for a select few. It is not about being born with special talent or having some secret formula handed to you. It is about making choices consistently, choosing action over comfort, choosing persistence over procrastination, choosing to do what is necessary rather than what is easy. Consider the story of someone who wakes up every morning at 5 a.m. to work on their craft. The world may not see the struggle, the temptation to stay in bed, or the nights when fatigue threatens to overwhelm them. But every single day that person gets up, they are laying bricks in the foundation of their success. And while others are distracted by short-term pleasures, the disciplined individual is investing in long-term freedom, in long-term achievement, in long-term impact. People often ask, how do I become disciplined? The answer is deceptively simple. Start with one small habit and stick to it. Discipline is built in layers. You cannot build a skyscraper by placing all the floors at once. You start with one solid foundation, and then you add the next level, and the next, until eventually the structure stands tall and unshaken. If you want to be disciplined, begin with something you can control. Your morning routine, the way you plan your day, or the commitment to learning a skill for just 30 minutes a day. Each time you follow through, you are strengthening the muscle of discipline. And like any muscle, the more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Discipline is not about eliminating joy or becoming robotic. It is about freedom, the freedom to live life on your terms. Think of discipline as a lens that focuses your energy. When your energy is scattered, your life feels chaotic, your goals feel distant, and your potential feels untapped. But when you harness discipline, suddenly your actions align with your aspirations. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the architect of your destiny. Every choice becomes deliberate. Every moment carries purpose. Every day becomes a step forward rather than a drift in the current of life. One of the most misunderstood aspects of discipline is that it is instantaneous. It is not something that will appear overnight. Discipline is like planting a tree. You water it daily. You nurture it, protect it, and give it sunlight. For weeks, months, maybe even years, it seems as if nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, roots are spreading, and slowly, the tree begins to grow. Then one day, you realize that it stands tall and strong, weathering storms and offering shade, and you remember all the days of quiet, patient effort that led to this moment. That is the power of discipline. It compounds quietly, invisibly, until suddenly, results appear that seem almost magical. But in reality, they are simply the harvest of consistent effort. Discipline also requires awareness. You must know what matters most and what can distract you. Life is full of temptations, shortcuts, and excuses that pull you away from the path of achievement. The disciplined person does not fall for them. They understand that every small compromise chips away at progress, and every choice to stay committed adds to momentum. Think of it like a bank account. Each disciplined decision is a deposit, and every moment of surrender to distraction is a withdrawal. Over time, the account balance grows, and one day it becomes wealth. Not of money alone, but wealth of character, confidence, and capability. Finally, discipline is about self-respect. It is about honoring your commitments to yourself when no one is watching. Most people give up because they lack an inner standard. They are willing to be inconsistent because it does not hurt anyone else. But discipline is built when you say to yourself, I am worth the effort. I am worth the struggle. I am worth showing up consistently. That inner standard, that self-respect, becomes the compass guiding you through challenges, doubts, and fears. And over time, that compass leads you to a life that is not only successful, but meaningful, fulfilling, and uniquely yours. Discipline is not glamorous. It does not always feel good in the moment. It asks you to do the hard things when you would rather do the easy things. But the beauty of discipline is that it transforms your entire life. Small, consistent actions accumulate into massive results. Every choice to persist, to focus, to follow through is a vote for the life you want to create. And the truth is, anyone can build discipline if they are willing to start, willing to commit, and willing to embrace the journey. Every day, every moment is an opportunity to strengthen that road beneath your feet, the road that will carry you to your dreams. True discipline is not about punishing yourself or living a life of restriction. Many people think discipline is about saying no to everything enjoyable, about living a life devoid of pleasure or spontaneity. But real discipline is quite the opposite. It is about freedom, the freedom to design your life, the freedom to achieve your goals, the freedom to live with purpose and intention. When you are disciplined, you are not a slave to your impulses, your emotions, or your circumstances. You are the captain of your own ship, steering it toward the life you envision. And the more disciplined you become, the less chaos controls your life, and the more clarity and confidence you gain in every decision you make. Discipline is the ability to manage your time, your habits, and your choices so that you consistently move toward your highest potential. Life will constantly test you. Opportunities will appear disguised as challenges. Distractions will whisper temptations in your ear. Without discipline, you drift. You procrastinate. You settle for less than what you know you are capable of achieving. But when discipline is your ally, you respond to challenges with focus, to distractions with awareness, and to opportunities with action. It is the skill that transforms a good person into a great one, an idea into a business, a dream into a reality. People who lack discipline often blame luck, circumstances, or other people for their failure. They wait for motivation, inspiration, or the perfect moment to arrive, never realizing that waiting is the enemy of success. Disciplined individuals, however, understand that they are the architects of their own destiny. They know that success is not about what happens to them, but about what they do with what happens to them. Every commitment they make, every action they take, is aligned with the vision they hold for themselves. They do not allow excuses to dictate their future. They act consistently, deliberately, and with intention, understanding that discipline is the vehicle that carries them from where they are to where they want to be. Every time you follow through on a commitment, no matter how small, you reinforce the muscle of discipline. It works just like physical exercise. If you want strong arms, you lift weights consistently. If you want a strong character and the ability to achieve, you practice discipline consistently. Each act of self-control, each decision to act rather than procrastinate, each moment you choose long-term gain over short-term comfort is a repetition that strengthens this essential muscle. Over time, you become unstoppable. The habits that once felt difficult now feel natural. The choices that once required effort now become automatic, and the results begin to compound in ways that are almost unimaginable to those who never learned this principle. Discipline also requires patience and resilience. It is not about instant gratification or quick wins. It is about playing the long game, about making decisions today that will benefit you tomorrow and for years to come. People often give up because they do not see immediate results. They become frustrated when the progress seems slow or invisible. But disciplined individuals understand that meaningful achievement is always a process. They focus on what they can control, the effort, the consistency, the daily actions, and they trust that the results will follow. They celebrate small victories along the way, knowing that these victories are building the momentum that will carry them through larger challenges. Another critical aspect of discipline is awareness. You cannot be disciplined without knowing what is most important. Life is filled with distractions, time wasters, and noise that pull you away from your purpose. Discipline is the ability to prioritize, to focus, and to direct your energy toward what truly matters. It is about making conscious decisions rather than being swept along by circumstance. When you are disciplined, your days are no longer chaotic or aimless. Your choices are deliberate, your actions are purposeful, and your path becomes clear. You no longer react to life, you create it. Ultimately, discipline is free. The more disciplined you become, the more control you have over your life. You are no longer at the mercy of fleeting emotions, temporary desires, or external circumstances. You are empowered to make choices that serve your vision, that align with your values, and that move you closer to your goals. It is a freedom that cannot be taken away by anyone because it is rooted within you. You become self-reliant, confident, and unstoppable. Discipline is not a punishment. It is a declaration of self-respect. Every time you honor your commitments, every time you choose to act despite resistance, you send a message to yourself that you value your dreams and your future. You are telling the world that you are serious about your life, serious about your potential, and serious about the legacy you wish to leave. And as this declaration strengthens, you realize that discipline is not a burden, but a gift that allows you to live intentionally, to pursue excellence, and to create the life you have always imagined. It is never too late to start. No matter where you are in life, no matter the obstacles you face, you can begin building discipline today. Start with small, deliberate actions. Commit to your goals. Protect your time. Here, focus your energy. And remember that every act of discipline compounds over time, leading to results that far exceed your expectations. When you embrace discipline, you embrace freedom, success, and the life you deserve. Building discipline requires awareness, clarity, and a system that works for you. You cannot expect discipline to emerge spontaneously or magically, and you cannot rely on fleeting motivation to sustain your progress. Discipline is a skill, and like any skill, it must be learned, practiced, and refined. The first step is awareness, the understanding of where your time goes, what your habits are, and what patterns in your life are helping or hurting you. Most people drift through life without paying attention to these details, and as a result, they feel frustrated, stuck, or unfulfilled. Awareness allows you to see clearly, to identify the gaps between where you are and where you want to be, and to take action with purpose rather than reacting impulsively to circumstances. Clarity comes next. You must know what matters most. Discipline without direction is like a rudderless ship. You may be moving, but you are not moving toward your destination. Clarity allows you to prioritize, to make deliberate choices, and to focus on the actions that yield the greatest results. It is about defining your values, your goals, and your non-negotiables. When you are clear about your vision, the decisions that once felt difficult become easier. You know where to invest your energy, what to say yes to, and what to say no to. You understand that every moment spent on distractions or trivialities is a moment taken away from building the life you want. Clarity makes discipline purposeful. A system is the structure that sustains discipline. Awareness and clarity set the stage, but without a system, even the most motivated person will struggle to stay consistent. A system is a set of routines, habits, and practices that make disciplined behavior automatic. It removes the guesswork and minimizes the reliance on willpower alone. It could be a morning ritual that primes you for a productive day, a method for planning your tasks, or a set of accountability measures that keeps you honest. Systems turn intention into action. They make it easier to follow through, even on days when your motivation is low or life throws unexpected challenges your way. Discipline grows when small, repeated actions compound over time. You do not need to overhaul your entire life overnight. In fact, trying to do too much at once often leads to frustration and burnout. Start small. Identify one habit, one action, or one commitment that aligns with your goals and execute it consistently. Each repetition strengthens your discipline muscle. Each day you follow through, no matter how minor the action may seem, is a step toward mastery. The beauty of small, consistent actions is that they create momentum. Momentum makes it easier to continue and harder to quit. Soon you will notice that discipline is no longer a struggle. It becomes a natural part of your life. Failures and setbacks are not signs that discipline has failed. They are opportunities to strengthen it. Every time you stumble, you gain insight into what works, what doesn't, and how to improve. The disciplined person does not see failure as a reason to quit. They see it as feedback, a lesson, and a chance to refine their system. Discipline is resilient. It is built through persistence, through the courage to keep going even when the path is hard, and through the ability to learn from mistakes without losing momentum. Every challenge you overcome reinforces the belief that you are capable, that you are strong, and that you can control your future. Environment also plays a critical role in building discipline. You are the average of the people you spend time with and the influences you allow in your life. Surround yourself with people who support your goals, challenge you to grow, and embody the discipline you wish to develop. Remove distractions and influences that encourage complacency procrastination, or mediocrity. Your environment either nurtures your discipline or undermines it. Choose wisely. Make your surroundings reflect your values, your priorities, and the level of excellence you aspire to achieve. Ultimately, discipline is a declaration to yourself. It is a statement that you value your time, your potential, and your dreams. It is saying to yourself, I am worth the effort. I am worth showing up consistently. I am worth following through even when it is difficult. This internal commitment is more powerful than any external motivation because it does not depend on circumstances. It is rooted in self-respect, in the desire to honor your own standards, and in the vision of the life you are determined to create. When discipline becomes a reflection of your self-respect, it ceases to be a burden. It becomes a source of pride, confidence, and freedom. Discipline is also contagious. The more disciplined you become, the more influence you have over others, the more inspiration you provide, and the more your environment transforms. Your habits, your routines, and your focus create ripples that impact your family, your colleagues, and your community. The life you build through discipline is not just for you, it becomes a model for others to follow. By committing to discipline, you contribute to a culture of excellence and intentionality around you. The journey of building discipline is continuous. It is not a one-time achievement, but a lifelong practice. Each day presents an opportunity to strengthen your habits, refine your system, and align your actions with your vision. Every small effort compounds into lasting results, and every consistent action reinforces the person you are becoming. If you embrace awareness, clarity, and a system that supports your goals, if you practice patience, resilience, and deliberate action, you will develop a level of discipline that transforms your life. You will move from drifting through circumstances to intentionally creating your future, from reacting to life to designing it. And in that process, you will discover the true power, freedom, and fulfillment that discipline offers. Now listen closely, because this is where the journey of discipline meets the reality of your life. You may have heard the words, you may have felt the inspiration, but what matters most is what you do next. Are you going to allow this moment to pass, or are you going to seize it? Are you going to commit to the small, consistent actions that build extraordinary results, or are you going to wait for motivation that may never come? Remember, discipline is not a gift reserved for the few. It is a decision you make every day. It is the choice to take control of your life, to stand up when others sit down, to act when others hesitate, and to persist when others quit. Think about your dreams for a moment. Picture them vividly. Feel them as if they are already real. Now ask yourself, what will it take to make them real? The answer is discipline. Every great achievement you admire, every story of success, every life that inspires you was built on discipline. It was built on showing up when it was hard, on working when no one was watching, on staying the course when the easier path was tempting. Do you think they were motivated every day? Of course not. They were disciplined. They understood that motivation is fleeting, but discipline is lasting. And discipline, my friends, is your bridge to the life you've always wanted. Now hear this. Discipline is not about punishing yourself. It is about respecting yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, every time you choose effort over comfort, every time you act instead of procrastinate, you are saying to yourself, I am worth it. My dreams are worth it. My future is worth it. And when you live by that principle, your life begins to transform. You start to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You start to feel confidence where others feel doubt. You start to create momentum that carries you forward even in the toughest of times. Imagine for a moment what your life would look like if you were fully disciplined. What if every day you did the things you needed to do, not because someone told you to, not because you felt like it, but because you had made a promise to yourself? What if every action, every decision, every effort was aligned with your highest goals? How different would your life be in 1 month, 6 months, or a year from now? The truth is, it would be extraordinary. And the path to that life starts with one simple step, a step you can take right now. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for the ideal conditions. Discipline is forged in the moment of action. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. Start today, start small, but start. Commit to showing up, even when it's uncomfortable. Commit to doing the work, even when no one is watching. Commit to honoring your word to yourself, even when the world doubts you. Each act of discipline is like a seed planted in the soil of your future. Each act compounds, each act grows, and before you know it, the life you imagined is standing before you. Because here is the ultimate truth. Your life is the sum of your choices. Every decision you make, every action you take, every habit you cultivate either moves you closer to the life you want or farther away from it. Discipline ensures that your choices align with your dreams. Discipline ensures that your actions are consistent with your vision. Discipline ensures that you are in control of your destiny, not at the mercy of circumstances, emotions, or fleeting motivation. So take a deep breath and make this commitment. From this moment forward, you will honor yourself, you will honor your goals, and you will honor the life you are capable of creating. You will show up every day, you will do the work, and you will persist through challenges. And you will embrace the power of small, consistent actions, knowing that they compound into extraordinary results. You will become disciplined, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. You will become disciplined, not because someone told you to, but because you respect yourself enough to demand it. You will become disciplined because your dreams are worth the effort, your future is worth the struggle, and your life is worth living at the highest level possible. When you do this, when you embrace discipline fully, you will look back one day and realize that everything you ever wanted was waiting for you all along. It was just waiting for you to become the person capable of achieving it. Your journey begins now. Your commitment begins today. Your discipline starts in this moment. Take it, hold it, and never let it go.